We've got smoke. We've got smoke.
We've smoke. We've got smoke.
Move to the exit. Okay guys, what's up guys? Today we're talking about smoke. Today we're talking about smoke because you think that smoke has very few different meanings, like smoking pot or smoking cigarette.
Today, smoking is gonna save lives.
Or let's say there's a fire going on and there's smoke, right? Like this. When I was learning English with How I Met Your Mother, and also when I was learning English with some of the talk shows, I realized that, oh my god, I realized that smoke has different meanings. When I was learning English with How I Met Your Mother, for a very short amount of time, I'd come across this expression. Look at her, she's smoking. Ted, look at her, she's smoking.
Ted, look at her, she's smoking.
And I was like, she's smoking? You use that word for some girl and you say, she's smoking. I was like, what does that mean? What does that mean? She's smoking. Another expression, when I was learning this with talk shows, I was watching that talk show where Emma Stone was guest. Do you see these lines with the green highlights?
She smoked him.
She killed him.
She smoked him. She killed him. I was like, again, this has another meaning. This means something else that I've never seen before. I was like, what does that mean? She smoked him. She killed him. I was like, okay, smoke has very different meanings, and I just need to explain that. If you ever watch How I Met Your Mother, you know this scene, you know this episode, you know what's going on, but for those of you who haven't seen How I Met Your Mother, for those of you who don't know what's going on in that scene, Ted throws parties 3 times in a row for Robin. He throws his parties and so that he can see Robin, but also at the same time, he's trying to be casual, pretends like he doesn't care about Robin. He's trying to be casual, and basically in that scene he's talking about his plan, what he's gonna do when Robin shows up, and that's the plan. Let's see the plan.
So, Gatsby, what are you gonna do when Robin shows up?
I got it all planned out.
I got it all planned out.
She steps through the door.
Where's Ted? And where's Ted? Not eagerly waiting by the door. No, I'm across the room at my drafting table, showing some foxy young thing all my cool architecture stuff. So Robin strolls over, and I casually give her one of these. Hey, what's up?
Okay, basically Ted is trying to be casual and he's pretending like he doesn't even care about Robin, etc. And Barney says, "So plan, my little friend."
We're the same height.
But may I suggest one little modification? That foxy young thing you were chatting up, take her up to the roof and have sex with her. I mean, look at her. Ted, look at her. She's smoking.
She's smoking. Basically, when you say she's smoking for some woman, that means she's sexually attractive and sexually so appealing. She's sexually so attractive, okay? In that scene, smoke means she's so sexy. By the way, she's really smoking. When I was watching that scene, I was like, yeah, she's really smoking. She's really sexy. Okay, so the other thing that I want to talk about that scene. What is foxy person? Foxy.
That foxy young thing you were chatting up.
Basically, if someone calls a woman foxy, if you look it up, you're gonna see that if someone calls a woman foxy, they mean that she's sexually and physically attractive. Okay, she's good looking. I remember the second time when I come across this expression, this word, smoke, was the time when I was watching Stephen Colbert's Tonight Show.
Stephen Colbert.
I remember there was this moment where Stephen Colbert was saying that she smoked him.
She smoked him.
She killed him. And I was like, okay, that's something else. And this is the second scene. I'm going to explain what's going on here. Probably many of you know who Emma Stone is, right? Probably you know her from La La Land, especially La La Land. Emma Stone also made a movie with Steve Carell, and it's called The Battle of the Sexes. First of all, I want to give you some background here. I want to explain what they're talking about.
I am old enough to remember the Battle of the Sexes between Billie Jean King and Bobby Riggs. Explain to the people what exactly happened.
It took place September 20th, 1973, and Bobby Riggs was 55 years old. Billie Jean King was 29. She was pretty much the #1 female tennis player in the world. And he challenged her to a true battle of the sexes, and 90 million people watched. And it was an enormous tennis match. It was like a huge entertainment spectacle, but it was also a huge catalyst for a lot of social change. And Billie Jean has obviously become one of the most recognizable figures, I think, in the fight for equality that we have today.
On a certain level, it sounds like a silly thing, kind of an older, sort of washed-out tennis player challenging a 29-year-old woman to prove that, like, what did he say? Women should belong in the bedroom and the kitchen?
Bedroom and the kitchen,
In that order. In that order. And she smoked him.
She smoked him.
Yeah.
In 3 straight sets. Yep.
Billie Jean beat him 3 straight sets. She didn't give him a chance and she beat him. For instance, whenever I say smoke, let's say you're playing a game with your friends. Let's say you're playing PlayStation or you're playing tennis and you win the game by a large margin, 3 straight sets or 10-0, I don't know. If you win the game by a large margin like 3-0 or 10-0, you can always say you smoked him, man, you killed him, you kicked his ass. So basically whenever someone says you smoked him, I always remember Monica. There's this scene where Chandler and Joey are playing game with Monica and Ross, and let me show you that scene. Let's play. Score!
You suck!
You suck! Score! You suck!
She's okay. Just
one second.
second. Come on, Dave.
Oh.
Looks like we kicked your butts.
we kicked your butts. No,
She kicked our butts.
She kicked our butts.
Yes, and that will be the shutdown. Shut out! Monica doesn't give them a chance, okay? She literally smokes them. You know, she literally shut them out. And this is where you can say Monica smokes them. Kicks their butts, alright? She smokes them. She kills them, alright?
Score! You suck! Yes! And that would be a shutdown.
Basically, whenever I say smoke, that always reminds me this scene, okay? She smokes them. Basically, what we learned in this video, I mean, not we learned, but this is how I learned English. This is how I remember those words. Whenever I say smoke someone, I remember its different meanings from How I Met Your Mother, from Stephen Colbert's Now Show, from Friends. So basically, this is how I learn English, okay guys? You see that in my room with those scripts like this. This is how I learn English, you know, watching YouTube, working with those scripts, working with those movies, working with those TV shows, okay? Yeah, so we're gonna keep doing that. And by the way, I always say that I'm not teaching English, okay? I'm not teaching English. I'm just sharing my experiences, okay? Basically, we're gonna keep learning. We're gonna keep learning together. We're gonna keep improving ourselves together. I'm just gonna keep sharing my experiences. I'm just gonna keep sharing whatever I learn. So yeah, that's all for today, guys. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye.
Never know how much I love you. Never know how much I care. When you
Ted throws parties 3 times in a row for Robin.
I get a fever that's so hard to bear. You give me fever.
There's Ted, not eagerly waiting by the door. So Robin strolls over.
Fever in the morning. A fever all through the night.
So I'll play my little friend.
We're the same height. But may I suggest one little modification?
I light up when you call my name, and you know I'm gonna treat you right. You give me fever.
It's sexually attractive and sexually so appealing.
Gives me fever when you hold me tight. Fever
It was an enormous tennis match. It was like a huge entertainment spectacle.
through the night. Everybody's
Kind of an older, sort of washed-out tennis player.
something you all know. Fever isn't such
She literally shut them out.
started long ago.